What's up, my friend David Moss Jr. here, and in this video we're going to be doing a full review of the brand new PlungePure Pro Chiller from Plunge. Let's jump right in. First thing we're going to talk about is the look and the designs. What I like about it is an all-in-one chiller. This has a full 1 horsepower chiller. There is a heating component that is going to be an option. It does have a massive 20 micron filtration system. It does come equipped with ozone, and it is a big computer. One really cool thing about this is it will link up with the Plunge app, and you will be able to see all of your metrics, keep track of your plunge, turn your cold plunge on, make adjustments to your temperature, everything wirelessly from your app, which is a pretty cool feature. A few key things to note is this will get your water down to 37 degrees. If you do go with the optional heater, it can heat your water up to 104 degrees. But the heater is really only for people who live in really cold states or countries, and there is that risk of freezing. When you do purchase the heater, it's going to keep your system from freezing over, so you won't have to disconnect your chiller from your setup. Now, currently this chiller is set up to only work with the Plunge products, and there's a whole list of new products coming out very soon that will fit and be universal with this chiller. And don't worry, if you have the first generation Plunge or Plunge XL like I do, there is going to be connections available where you can use this chiller with your current Plunge if that's something you want. A couple reasons you might want to do that: this will chill your water 30% faster than the current chiller. It's also more than 30% quieter. Now let's take a quick look at the display. I don't have it plugged in, but I can explain it very simply. This is a very user-friendly chiller. There's only 5 buttons that you can press, and I'll explain exactly what you can do with each of them. The arrow down right here will adjust your temperature down. The arrow up will adjust your temperature up. The light will actually activate the light that you have inside your plunge if your plunge is equipped with a light. The pause button will allow you to actually pause the entire system without turning it off or unplugging it, so there will be no water circulating if you want to snorkel in a peaceful environment. It's also used for when you want to change out your filter or clean out your filter. You can just press the pause button, everything will stop, you pop off this little lid here, and you change your filter from the top, so you don't have to unplug anything, you don't have to turn your system off or actually bypass your water. You literally just press the pause button, which is really cool. And then over here is your Wi-Fi button. That's when you're going to connect this to your app or connect it to your plunge or your Wi-Fi. This side would be the front-facing side, obviously, with the display. Now, if you look directly at the right side, my left currently, but the right side of the actual chiller itself, there's handles on both sides, which will make lifting this and moving this very easy. It does weigh about 90 pounds, so it is pretty heavy, and that's without water. There's 2 connection ports here, one for the water going in, one for the water coming out, and then there's a little electrical connection here for the light inside your plunge. Other than that, this will just plug right into any household outlet. You need a 15 amp. That's pretty simple, but it's not going to pull all 15 amps. This is a very efficient chiller. And that's one of the things I'm really excited about, is this will be one of the more efficient chillers on the market, and also one of the quietest chillers on the market. I've actually got to experience this firsthand, and you almost can't even hear it when it's running. And the reason for that is it has a continuous fan and a continuous pump, meaning it's going to make adjustments to how hard the chiller actually needs to work based on the ambient temperature in the air. And for those of you living in really hot climates, they've tested this in an ambient 120 degree room to make sure that it's super efficient in those really hot environments as well, and it passed all the tests. Just to verify, the bottom here that you see this on is a table. I wanted to elevate it to make it easier for me to talk about. So this white piece is the chiller. The bottom piece is a table. Just wanted to point that out for anybody who was thinking or wondering why it looks like it's built like that tower in Vegas. Now let's talk about changing out the filter. So it's very similar to a pool. You have this nice little cover on top. You're going to unscrew this little port, obviously after you press the pause button. Take that off, and then this is the 20 micron filter. As you can see, it's a much larger filter than the current filters in most cold plunges, so you won't have to change this as much, but it'll also keep your water much cleaner, much longer. And changing the filter is as simple as pressing pause, pulling your filter out, putting a new one back in, screwing this top back on, making sure it's nice and snug, and then placing your cover back on top just like that. One of the things I really love is the look. You know, Plunge has a specific look. It's the iconic look, that white acrylic tub, really good lines, really clean. And I think if they're building a chiller that's going to work with all of their products, they did a great job with the looks. It fits the Plunge look. Now we've talked about the look and we've talked about some of the functions. Let's talk about the actual specs, because it's very difficult to see size and all of that from a video, but I'm going to do my best to go over everything you're going to need to know. First, I'm going to measure it. So it is shaped as a little bit of a triangle, not obviously a full triangle because it's flat up top, but the base is just at 16 inches wide. However, the top is just at 12 inches wide. So there is a slight angle off the back, and this is the side that's supposed to go into or close to whatever plunge you decide to go with. Obviously this being the front with the fan, right? As far as width goes, from the top we're looking at 26 inches, and I want to say the bottom is just about the same. No, the bottom is 28 inches. So once again, it kind of shapes up as like a little bit of a cone, and the top is a little bit smaller than the bottom. Well, that's great. Let's talk about the actual specs as far as the price goes. So this is listed currently at $32.99 for the 1 horsepower PlungePure Pro Chiller, part of the Evolve series. And I will have a link down in the description below that you can use. It might save you a little bit of money, so feel free to use that with a discount code. Now, the cool thing about this chiller is that it's designed to be used as you evolve through your cold plunging journey, meaning they're gonna have a pop-up cold plunge that this chiller will be able to chill down to 37 degrees. They're gonna have an inflatable plunge. They're gonna have an iconic plunge tub. And from what I hear, there's some more stuff coming down the pipes. So there's a lot to be excited about when it comes down to plunge. If you have any questions about this chiller or about any of the plunge products, feel free to ask them down in the comments below. I love responding to questions. A few things that I'm most excited about is the ability to take this one chiller and let it walk with me through my stages of going from just getting started cold plunging all the way to cold plunging multiple times per day. Another thing I'm real excited about is that this is rated for indoor use and outdoor use. And with that optional heater, if you live somewhere where it freezes over, the heater should help keep your cold plunge operational at your ideal temperature 12 months out of the year. And if you live somewhere like me where it gets really, really hot, they've tested this in really, really hot environments to make sure it stays efficient, but also keeps your water at the exact temperature that you have it set at. I'm also excited about connecting this to the app, and a couple things that I really like about that. I spoke to the founder of Plunge and found out the vision behind this and why they're so focused on getting people to use the app is once you're connected to the app, they can pre-diagnose any potential problems or issues that might come up with your chiller or your plunge. They can see if your pump isn't operating properly. They can see if your filter is getting a little bit dirty. They can see your flow rate. They can see all the cool things that happen inside this chiller, so you don't have to be a mechanic and try to figure it out for yourself. I think that's cool, and I haven't seen anybody else really doing that in the cold plunging community just yet. Well, my friends, there you have it. I wanted to do a review of the chiller itself. Now, once again, this is the PlungePure Pro Chiller. It's a 1 horsepower chiller capable of reaching 37 degrees. It's currently $32.99. It weighs about 91 pounds, and it's compact, a part of Plunge's Evolve series, so it can be used with multiple Plunge products that are out currently and coming out in the very near future. If you want to find out any more information, I will have links down in the description below that will connect you to Plunge, where you can find out more detailed information if it's something that you're if that's something that you're looking for. If you have any questions, pop them down in the comments below. Make sure that you like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, guys, and God bless.